Cool Hand Podcast, something you got to deal with. Welcome back to the show. I am your host. My name is Q. We have a very, very, very special guest in the building. This one has been a long time in the making. You've seen me on Instagram promoting this brand because I believe in this brand. This is my campaign. I remember when I first saw this brand, I'm like, dog, what is this and how do I cop? And I don't want to talk too much about it because we have one of the co-founders, co-owners, and CEOs of this company. Guest, can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Jonathan, co-founder of Volare Toro.
Volare Toro,
yes, sir.
Jonathan in the building. Now, Jonathan, let's just get straight to it.
All right, let's do it.
I like your work. We have some merchandise on the table here. I'm wearing my Volare Toro hat.
That's what I was looking for when I was walking out the door.
Dog, when I saw this was one of the first things that I saw from Volare Toro, and I had to buy two. They were releasing.
You did get
they
both
were releasing.
versions.
Yeah, they had a regular joint without the flower, and then the joint with the flower. I'm like, I need both.
Okay.
I need them both. So there's a lot of hype around this brand, man, and I think it's doing well. So, Jonathan, where are you from? What was your upbringing like?
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, so regular upbringing, nothing too much. I've always had kind of like an eye for like style and clothing. It's something that I've always been into, so it's only right that I, created my own brand and being able to design and things myself. People always tell me like, man, you got an eye for this or you have an eye for colors, so yeah.
Got you. And this is real Atlanta, by the way. Everybody that I've been interviewing the past couple of days has been real Atlanta.
Okay.
So where in Atlanta are you from? You're from the infamous spot, ain't you?
Yeah, I'm from Cleveland Avenue in Atlanta. So.
You're from Cleveland Avenue.
So yeah, not the outskirts, but really in Atlanta. So.
Real Atlanta. That's what I mean when I say real Atlanta. So now, when I said that it was infamous, now what was the environment like growing up over there?
It wasn't really a lot. I mean, I think I come from a spot that it has a reputation, but if you live there or if you're around it, it's not that bad. So it's not like when people hear that, they'll say like, oh, like you're from over there or how you live over there. But it's like I've been living there my whole life. It's calm. It's not this. So it's one of those spots. It just has a reputation, but it had a great upbringing.
Mm-hmm. And what's the culture like for people who aren't from Atlanta, who aren't familiar with the South like that? What's the culture like here in Atlanta?
Oh man, it's different. I think the South is kind of known for having fun. The music. We have one of the best music scenes. So we're known for the music. We're known for the styles. People in Atlanta are just trendsetters, and I think a lot of other places they kind of follow after that. So it's a vibe.
Facts. I can attest to that because I used to live down here, but I was in the suburbs. So,
okay.
Went to East Cobb Middle School, Wheeler High School, and also Campbell High School.
Right.
And I came down here. They was rocking Polo, True Religion.
True Religion.
We're talking like 2008, 2009. So Polo, True Religion, woo woo. I come back up north to Pittsburgh after like the wave was kind of over. Of the Polo and True Religion in down south. Of course, the trappers and Getting Money dudes was still rocking that. But you came up to Pittsburgh and they just got on the Polo and True Religion and the Polo boots and stuff like that. So when we're talking about trendsetters, we're talking about trendsetters. This is Atlanta for real. So with your upbringing and everything, you said you had an eye for style, or people said you have an eye for doing these things. What else did you do that was creative as you were coming up as a little youngin'?
It's kind of embarrassing, but it was a time I used to make poems and I used to make music. So me and a couple guys, we get together, we'll make some songs. I still got a couple of the files. I'm gonna have to show you afterwards so we can laugh about it. But yeah, I've always been trying to do something creative, whether it was music, whether it was trying to draw and create things. But yeah, things like that.
Okay. Now, what was now poetry is poetry and rapping and stuff like that. What was the contents of your poems, of your bars, all that?
I don't know. It might have been a couple love stories, a couple sad ones, based off of however I was feeling. And I try to translate it into the poem that I was writing or the song that I was making. I'll be trying to do things like that.
Have you dibbled and dabbled in it ever since?
Nah, I think it's one of those things I just kind of gave up. But it was one of those things, like, it was fun while it lasted and it was a moment, but that was about it.
Mm-hmm. I got you. Exactly. I got you. So when we're talking about clothing and fashion, you know, something that you're really known for today,
okay.
How far back were you putting that stuff on?
Since I came out, you know what I'm saying? No. Nah, I don't know. I really think I used to be in a circuit with a lot of young guys. Mm-hmm. So we used to have these competitions to see who was gonna have the best outfit. So we would always, like, whenever we see each other, we compete. We'll probably run around the week before buying clothes. What you wearing? What you wearing? What you mm-hmm. wearing? And then when we see each other, we compete, like, on who had the best outfit. It was like, oh, nah, who fresher? Who fresher? And we running up to people like, who look cleaner, me or him? Like, y'all got to pick. So I think maybe 12, 13, mm-hmm. I've been having an interest in clothing and mm-hmm. fashion.
Got you. And at what point now, I want to bring in, because you're a co-founder, co-owner, co-CEO, you have a partner in this business, mm-hmm. Ajante, right?
Ajante, yeah.
Ajante, excuse me, my brother. You know, with all due respect, bro. So, Ajante. So, what's your history with him? How did y'all meet? So on and so forth.
We had a mutual friend who kind of put us together. So it's really as simple as that. Somebody put us together. He's in Maryland. I'm down here, and we just. I think that weekend we hung out. I think we went to Six Flags, and we just kept in touch after that. And it's like, you know, it's long distance, so we'll mm-hmm. be calling each other. We'll be playing 2K.
Yeah.
We'll pretty much we'll play 2K like every single day. Every year we buy a new game. Everything. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what started the friendships and the basis of the friendship. But yeah, he's in Maryland. I'm here, and we just kind of like clicked off of basketball. I wouldn't even say it was clothing because that came much later, but mm-hmm. Yeah, we just connected instantly. That's my guy.
Okay. And how far back was this? What year did y'all kind of get locked in?
I want to say about 2014, maybe.
Okay. So that's almost a 10-year-long relationship.
Yeah, if it's not 10 years, it's close. It's very close to 10 years.
Got you. So, okay, so you're locked in with the bro from Maryland. That's the homie playing 2K. Y'all hoop, woo, woo, woo. At what point did y'all come together and say, we can create something?
Okay. Well, like I said, kind of early on, I kind of had a fashion sense, but it was more so dress clothes and everything. So then me and Ajante, through our friendship, we started to like street clothing mm-hmm. And things like that. So I think it was a time where people were getting like brand ambassador deals from different franchises and different brands. Maybe it was Minimal, maybe it was Boohoo. So we was like, man, we got to get one of these deals. So we, you know, take our pictures, post them, mm-hmm. tag Boohoo, tag Minimum in their clothing, and we didn't get no attention from it or from them that they seen it. But we see like other guys that we might have knew mm-hmm. that they might have had a brand deal. It was like, hold on, like we fresher than him. How we not? So I think it eventually got to a point where we was like, man, we could do something on our own. I think when I brought it up to Ajante, he was like, you know what I'm saying? But this is around COVID, when COVID started happening. So Ajante got COVID, and I was like, dang, you about to be in the house for 2 weeks? That's crazy. I think I might have been making some jokes and stuff about mm-hmm. it. Then it might have been like 2 or 3 days later, I called. I said, hey, bro, I got COVID too. So we was kind of happy about it because we was like, you in the house, I'm in the house. We about to play 2K every single day. But during that 2 weeks, I think we talked about the brand more and more. And we was like, all right, well, let's put it on paper. Let's try this. Let's try that. And that's kind of how it formed because both of us was at home with COVID for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. And so this takes steps. Y'all coming up with an idea, a brand. What were the steps that you took to, you know, create these things in the beginning?
Man, trial and error. Mm-hmm. Trial and error. I wish I could show you some of our early logos. You know, Ajante, his name is Ajante Bullock, so he calls himself Young Bull. Yeah. That's kind of like his nickname. My nickname is Fly Rockin' Johnny. So it was like, man, what if we find a way to combine both of those? So it was like Fly Bull. And so I think that's like everybody was like, yeah, we're going to call it Fly Bull. Then it was like, we're going to call it Simple Attire. And we just kept getting it wrong, even with the logos. Like, I wish I could show you one of our early logos. I had one I was proud of. We was both proud of it, and we sent it out. Like, what y'all think about our logo? Somebody was like, is this Buffalo Wild Wings? So it was just a whole bunch of trial and error, but eventually we got things right.
So who was creating the logos? Like, you did say that you had a history in art and drawing and stuff like that. So was it the both of y'all just kind of brainstorming and doodling and stuff like that? Or how did that come about?
See, I think the thing with the both of us is we can't draw, but we got a vision in our head, and we know what we want to see. And sometimes we might try to sketch it, like, this is the best that we can do. Now I'm going to go with somebody who's a creative. This is somebody who draws. This is the vision that I have in my head, and this is the best I can get it on paper. I need you to make it pop for me. I need you to make it come to life. So a lot of times starting out, you know how much it is to start a business. Early things were from Fiverr. Go on there, $5, somebody in another country, they send you back over something. But yeah, we spent a lot of money with Fiverr.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you know, you talk to any entrepreneur or somebody who's starting a business, you're going to spend a lot of money before you start seeing money. So when you did create this, you did say it started out with like dress clothes and stuff like that, but you know, went into streetwear. What was the goal of what you guys wanted to create?
You know, it's so funny. I don't really think early on it really was a goal because it seemed so big or it seemed so huge. Like, oh, we're going to create a brand. And honestly, we just was like, hey, if we create something and our friends wear it and this can be something that we kind of do together, it'll be cool. But we never had any goals like, man, we want everyone to wear this or we want this or we want that. I almost want to say it was kind of like a joke a little bit, like, okay. And every step, it just feels like, okay, this is a little bit less, okay, we're getting a little bit more serious. And when we came out with the first hats, which is this one, I think we made about 30 of them. And we was like, okay, we're going to do this, and we're going to drop these hats. But before we got to the drop date, so many friends of ours had seen it, and they bought the hat. So we didn't even get to do a drop because the hat was gone. So I think it started off, we wasn't really serious, but as we saw that we had a product that people liked, it became more serious through time.
Now, this was a part of the first drop. That's crazy.
This is the first hat.
Because I remember once I found the brand, I went on the website and I wanted, like, I'm like, oh, I need these. These look like the vintage 1990s snapbacks. I'm like, need that. Of course, it was all gone.
Yeah, it was sold out.
Yeah, I understand. So, and when you created the name, though, because you did mention, okay, simple attire, and then you had Fly Bull. Like, I could imagine some Philly dudes, you know, that would go crazy in Philly. Right. But how did you settle on a name Volare Toro? Because it sounds fancy. It sounds, you know, luxurious. It sounds,
yeah. I mean, I still like Fly Bull. I still think that name sound cool, but it just lacks something. So we like the Portuguese culture. One of our favorite artists is a Portuguese artist. So I think one day we might have been listening to music or something. I'm like, what it sound like in Portuguese? What it sound like? And it was like Volare Toro. The thing he said, I said, nah, that's hard. So I called Ajante. I said, hey, I got it. Volare Toro. He said, that's hard. Yeah. And so I think it started off like that, and we got to keep the Fly Bull. It's a little bit of me. It's a little bit of you.
Yeah.
And that's really, if you look at the logo, that's what it is. It's the bull. You see a horn, and on the other side you see the wings. So it's just a little bit of both of us. The best parts of both of us.
This is a Cool Hand Podcast exclusive this is a Cool Hand Podcast exclusive. Okay, so Fly Bull for real, Volare Toro.
Right.
Because when I'm like, man, how did they come up with this like sophisticated name?
Right.
Like, seriously, Ralph Lauren, Marc Jacobs, Volare Toro.
You know what I'm saying? Put a little Volare Toro. You know, it come off your tongue so naturally.
Exactly.
But I think the funny thing is we have so many people that buy it who don't know how to say the name at all. I think that's kind of like, it's funny. It's a little eye-opening, like, wow, this must really be a nice product, or you must really like these hats to buy it and not even know how to pronounce what you're wearing.
Facts.
So that's very interesting.
In the first episode I did, trying to show some love to this, I said Volare Toro, ghetto, ignorant.
Yeah, we done heard some names.
What else have you heard? But
yeah. It's a video that I post sometimes where it's a guy, he's like, hey, these the best hats out. I don't know how you say it. Maybe y'all can do a video saying what's the name of these hats. But Volare Toro, like whatever it's at. So I've heard some crazy names. But it's funny with this hat in particular, with the VT. I think the funniest thing that I got was somebody was like, "Yeah, man." I was like, "Man, I'm selling these hats." He was like, "I don't like Virginia Tech." I said, "That's not what VT stands for."
I get it. Yeah, if you're a college fan or whatever, right. I can see how they can mistake in that. But okay, that's very interesting. So Flybull, Volare Toro, Portuguese culture. Tap in if you ain't. Who's the Portuguese artist? If they
Richie Campbell.
Richie Campbell.
Yeah.
What does he like? What genre? Is it like pop?
It's kind of he's Portuguese, but it's kind of like a Jamaican patois in English.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out.
He got some cuts.
Yeah, Richie Campbell.
Richie Campbell.
Mm-hmm. Remember that, y'all. Remember that for me. I'm gonna go.
Just Google Richie Campbell Heaven.
Richie Campbell Heaven.
Matter of fact, I suggest you just listen to one of his songs first, and then go see what he looks like. It's gonna mess with your mind.
I'm gonna take that advice. So Richie Campbell, everybody who's watching this, listen to Richie Campbell. Okay. All right. So you had the first drop, and was the first drop only the hats?
The first drop was only the hats.
Okay, because
I wouldn't even consider it a drop because we never got.
Oh yeah, because 30 hats and they sold out before they can drop. So, what about these hats? So we got like a beige, red, and yellow colorway, and I saw like a blue one too. There was a blue one similar to these. So, did those come shortly after, or did you kind of have a plan to drop this colorway, then that colorway? How did that work?
I think we dropped this one, and it was like, okay, cool, like that was dope. But I think we always kind of wanted to do something where it's a hat. I want you to be able to put it on, but I still want you to have some type of a thought process. When you're getting dressed, like, oh, I have to match this color to this color. Even with this hat, yellow and red, I don't know how many people would just readily put those two colors together, but it's something that we always wanted to be a thought process when they got ready. Even though it's a hat, I really want you to think, like, okay, how am I going to match this? The hat you have on, brown, gold, pink. I want you to think about it. You did nicely. I like how you put that on. I like that.
Yeah, no, there is a real thought process in it. Okay. Because I also have, now this one is a little easier. Okay, I could just do a monochrome brown type thing. Okay. But this one, dog, I struggle. I
struggle with this one. I think I always try to figure it out. Sometimes if I'm being lazy, I just do like a black shirt with a chain on or something like that. But that's kind of how we want it. We want everybody to buy it. It's something we want everybody to buy. But we feel like we target our select group, real streetwear fashionistas type stuff. Because when they see it, they say, "How am I gonna? This is different. How am I gonna make this look good? How am I gonna do this?" So
Yeah, so I like the idea behind that too. It's not just something you can throw on, but you got to plan around it, because I definitely planned around this joint. Okay. This one too, but like this one brought like, okay, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? And then I usually resort to just like an all black fit. I do got some, some shoes that could, put everything together, but no, I like that. Okay. It's not just, you just can't throw it on. You know what I mean? So that's what's up. So Volare Toro offers more than hats. Right. So you guys ended up dropping shirts. So at what point, and here's a question before that, what year did these drop? Was this 2020?
It might have been 2021.
Okay. So
it might have been late 2020 or early 2021.
Okay.
Between that, but yeah, we offer shirts. I think we were making the hats, and like I said, it's a thought process behind it. So I think we'll have a hat. It's like, man, this hat is nice. I don't know what to wear with it. And it's like, oh well, we'll give you a shirt. And so we started designing the shirts. And like I said, I think we had a couple artists that we were working with. We have a vision in our head. Like, this is the vision. This is what I might do a sketch. I need you to make this come to life. And they did some really good jobs with that. So that's kind of how it went. But yeah, not only shirts, I think we ended up having shorts too. I don't know if you got to get a pair of those.
That's right.
Yeah, we got some shorts, hoodies, and I think this coming year we're gonna have a lot more stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. Don't think Volare Toro's done. You know, they had to fall back for reasons we can get to.
Right.
But yeah. Real ones don't fall off; they fall back.
You know what I'm saying? It's a little hiatus.
Facts. Little hiatus. So, the shirts that you have to offer, because you guys gotta have a big variety of shirts, I would say. So when it comes to and of course we can't get to all the shirts and all the designs, but what goes into, you know, the creation? You guys got like a King Griffey Jr. shirt,
right?
A Sade shirt. Then you have things like a championship shirt,
right?
Little ones with a undefeated, four-peat,
right?
So what went into all of the designs, the ideas behind them?
Well, I mean, for one, that's what's in right now, graphic shirts, the vintage graphic shirts. But not only that, we're both big sports fans, basketball, football, hockey. You might catch us in some hockey jerseys. So we both love sports already, and we want to show it in our way, in a different way. So I think that's what went into it a lot. With it already being stuff that we like, or we have other shirts with artists on them. Those are artists that we like. So I think it's a Mariah the Scientist shirt. We have a Sade shirt. We like them. So it all starts with what we like. And I think we do have a lot of shirts, different shirts, because it's, like I said, it's me and Ajante. So it's the two of us. I might like something, and he may have a whole different vision. So I think that's one thing that gives us a lot of power, because he has an idea, I have an idea. It's a lot of people that's going to like your idea. It's a lot of people that's going to like my idea. So when we kind of we're in the same lane, but when we do two different things sometimes, it really works out for us.
Got you. Now, here's a personal question. What is your favorite piece or pieces?
Oh, man. I think one of my favorites is, like I said, things that we like. We have this vintage football shirt. It's Atlanta versus Baltimore. He's from Baltimore. I'm from Atlanta. So it's a vintage shirt. I think it has like Michael Vick on it and Ray Lewis. I really like that one. I really like to match that one up a lot. This one right here, I like a lot. Just, you know, for sentimental reasons. It's the first one that we came out with. And then to it, I think this one has like a classy, elegant golf type look. It has like a Richie Rich type look. And third, probably the hat that you got on, especially with the flower. The flower, we linked up with another designer. His name is Hall of Fame.
Okay.
He's kind of known for those flowers. So once we linked up with him, I feel like when he puts his flower on there, it takes the hat to another level.
Okay. I'm glad you threw that in there. Shout out to Hall of Fame, because I was going to say, I assumed you was putting these on, like you or Ajante was sewing these on, like, right. Okay, y'all doing your thing.
No, his name is Hall of Fame. I'll give you his ad. Maybe you can put him in the link or something like that. But absolutely, he has a nice catalog too.
All right, shout out to Hall of Fame. Now you mentioned Ajante is from the DMV.
Right.
You're out here down south. What is it like with like the long distance partnership, running a business? So how does that work?
It just has to be a lot of communication. I almost want to say it's like a relationship. You just got to keep talking back and forth. But like I said, we play the video game a lot. So it's kind of, we all, every day, if we on the game or something like that, when we have more time, we always talking about the business. But it's a workload, and it has to be shared. So, hey, you do this, this, and this. I'll do this, this, and this. Okay, did you get this done? Yeah, I got this done. Did you get that done? So a lot of communication and deferring sometimes, and trust as well.
Okay. Now, transitioning to the business. So we talked about the inception, how it was created, some of the designs, but business is business. Business is a lot.
Right.
Can you, and I'm not a businessman.
Right.
And I don't sell nothing. I don't really do anything. So can you give me a background or a description of what you all had to do to make this happen, coming with like the shirt that you needed to print on, things like that, like samples and all of that stuff, even coming up with price points,
right?
You know?
Yeah, I think, I mean, people always talk about a business. I feel like when you go online or something like that, you ask a question or something, so people like, just make an LLC. So, I mean, it's a little bit of that, but I think the main thing with business is people open businesses to make money. It is about what you like, but a business is to make money. So I think if I was talking to our younger selves, I probably would have had that a little bit mind a little bit more, because early on we would just spend money on designs and not be getting anything back. But it wasn't until we wised up, like, hey, like, we might be paying a little bit too much for these hats. Maybe we should go with this vendor. Or maybe we should do that. So I think that's something that should always be in mind. And also your paperwork. You want to have your paperwork straight when it comes to taxes and everything. You just want to be solid. And be in a good business, even when it comes to like quality control. Shipping, somebody puts in an order, all right, cool, let's hurry up and ship it out. Let's get it out. So things like that, I think, go a long way.
Mm-hmm. So when it comes to the hats, the shirts, because I know for the one shirt that says Undefeated on it, and 4-peat on the back, I believe. It's a heavy shirt, like it's a good quality, And just the other day, I worked out in it for the first time. Like I've been putting them on ice to like really style in them. But coming down here, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be at the gym, woo woo woo. So I wore it to the gym, and it was heavy. Like it performed well, you know. So when it comes to the quality that you guys wanted to put out with this for people to buy, how many shirts, how many samples did you have to run through? How many hats did you have to run through?
I think a lot of it was finding things that we liked, and like, wow, what vendor do they use? And I think a lot of times, if you have a brand, you'll get vendors that just message you. Normally, you might feel like it's spam, but they message you like, hey, we want to work with you. We'll do this, this, and this. It's like, all right, cool. Send me a sample then. They send you a sample, and you're like, oh, no, they got some quality. They got some good stuff. So a lot of it was that. And then, too, a lot of the vendors that we work with, they ask us what type of materials we want to use. We have this hoodie that we're going to come out with maybe next year. But it's super thick, super good quality. It's embroidered on there. I go up to Chicago a lot, but sometimes I can just have on my hoodie. It's so thick. So yeah, we put a lot of importance on quality control, the products that we use, and the vendors that we work with. They make it happen.
Okay. So making a brand, you got these hats, and sometimes it feels like they can just sell themselves. The design is so good. But at a certain point, you may want to reach a wider audience. So let's talk about marketing and getting yourself out there. What do you guys do, or what's your goal in marketing, or some marketing tactics that you've used that you found successful?
Okay. So I think when you're starting a business, I think people want to support, but people want to support you. So you can have a good product, but people might want to support you. So I feel like being likable or having some type of likability about yourself goes a long way, and people want to see you. So I think a lot of our photo shoots, you see us wearing it. We everyday dresses, we everyday people. So people looking at us, I think is a big thing. Then TikTok, Instagram. If you look on our page, you'll see us skits. We marketing with skits. We marketing with TikTok videos. All of those things go a long way. And also, you kind of just want to have the right people. Even influencers. It's quite a few influencers that we work with that have a big following. They'll post the hats, and the video will have so many views, and in there, hey, where you get the hat from? Where you get the hat from? And they tagging us and everything like that. So I think it's a mix of you being likable, you stepping out of your comfort zone. I wasn't really a TikTok guy, but if it's gonna expand my business, I might have to step into that lane. Skits, I might have to step into that lane if it's gonna push my business. So stepping out of your comfort zone, being likable, and is really, and also it's a matter of who you know.
Great segue, because if you go on the Volare Toro page, you're going to see a notable NBA player who now plays for the Phoenix Suns. That goes by the name of Bradley Beal. If you're not into basketball, it's Bradley Beal. Now, how in the world? Because when I saw this, when I first saw this, I'm like, what? How did you get one of your hats in Bradley Beal's hands?
Oh, man, I think I'm going to give Ajante the credit on this one. Ajante did his thing. We have somebody who supports us, likes our brand, and they're good friends with Bradley Beal. And it was like, Ajante, I guess he hit him up, hey, man, we got a hat for Brad. Can you get it to him? And dude was like, yeah. And he got the hat to Brad. Brad liked the hat. So that was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think when I saw that, I might have hit a backflip. Never hit a backflip before.
Yeah, that was major to me. I'm like, whoa,
huge.
like, and that's not like no little dog basketball player. That's like a star/superstar status. So to have a look like that is crazy.
Right.
So where do you see the brand going from here on out? You did say that you guys are going to be coming out with a hoodie and everything, and I'm looking forward to that because I don't have enough hoodies. So I'm looking forward to that. So what's next for Volare Toro?
I think next, I think we just with anything, coming back to anything, even if it's working out, whatever it is, it's all about getting yourself into a rhythm. I feel like we had a good rhythm and things would just happen naturally. We didn't force anything. So with us coming back with the drops and things like that, I think we really just want to get ourselves into a rhythm, be consistent, and I think everything's just going to go from there. I think we had really got to a point where it wasn't just our friends, it wasn't just our families no more. It's people we never heard of. We getting orders in like, who is this? In Wisconsin? I don't know nobody in Wisconsin. You know them? Nah, I don't know them either. So I think we really had got to that point. And also we're a lot wiser now and a lot smarter now and a lot better at business now. So I think things are going to go 100 times smoother than before because it's a lot more thought process and we've learned a lot. Even when it comes to people that we want to work with and influencers we may want to get at and work with is there. I think we're gonna have a good 2024. That's
what's up. And I want to throw this in as well because he didn't know me. We don't know each other from a hole in the wall before we locked in. But when I saw the hats and I bought both of them, it came with a little ice cream cone because that was the thing. What is it called? Neapolitan ice?
Yeah.
So it came with a little toy ice cream cone, and it's something so simple, but at the same time, it adds to the brand or the personalization to the customer. And had a little note. It was like, oh, you got 2 hats. That's a lot of power, you know?
Yeah.
So even something like that, I feel like I want to give you guys credit for that too. Because
appreciate it. Yeah, like I said, man, we really want to be personable. I think even when it comes to naming our hats, we know we got a lot of guys that like us. Sometimes we'll name the hat after a superhero. That hat, it's like, oh man, it look like Neapolitan ice cream. Let's throw ice cream pin in there so for everybody. Or no, like we not gonna send out no generic. No, we gonna handwrite. No, even if we don't somebody, we gonna handwrite it. We gonna thank them because we really do appreciate the support. We appreciate the love because it's a lot. I feel like we get a lot of love, and we appreciate every bit of it. So we really try to be personable when it comes to the people that buy from us.
And this just came to me that I should have asked a little bit earlier before we move forward. How long did it take for you guys to see a profit?
Instantly. Yeah,
that wasn't the answer I was expecting. This doesn't happen for everybody, by the way. This is like this is the exception because the product was so hot. But go ahead.
No, I think okay. So like profit margin, I think to see a profit, I think we was doing a little bit better than breaking even. We was doing a little money in my pocket, a little money in the Jonte pocket. I think we saw that from the jump. But I think as we kind of evolved and we found different vendors, it started to look different. So it's still a profit margin in the beginning, but not like it is, a year out or a year or 2 out. So I think we saw it from the beginning, and then it really came. I think a big thing for me was with the hats was however much they costed, how much they cost. That's how much I wanted to sell them for. And I think Jonte, I give him a lot of credit for being like, no, this product that we have is nice. This is the competition for this hat. Look what they charging. We need to be charging this. So that went a long way too, because people appreciate nice things and people will pay for nice things. So we try to give them the best quality.
And because he can't be here, Jonte, shout out to you. I wanna ask you, what is it like, working with your bro, strengths and weaknesses? And it sounds like what you just said, like he kind of, like you said, it's like a relationship, like you got to work together, woo. And it sounds like he kind of balanced it out. Like,
right.
You guys work together and you want to sell it for this price, but he's like, no, we got to do this. So, let's just, talk about him for a second. His strengths and things that he adds to the brand, and what kind of makes Volare Toro.
Okay. Man, I was listening to this song. I can't remember who it was, but he said, "We all move as one to keep our weakness covered." So I feel like it's just strengths. And if there is a weakness, you find out how to make that weakness a strength, or you find out how to be strong to cover up that other person's weakness. But I think Ajante has a lot of ideas. He not only does he have ideas, but he has an eye too. He knows what looks good. He knows what people like. I think that's a huge thing. I think he really was big on the Sade shirt. He said, "Man, we need to come out with this shirt." I'm like, what? Like, nobody, you know what I'm saying? They don't even, she wasn't, like, they wasn't alive when her music was out. That ended up being our best-selling shirts. So I think he knows what people like. And also, I think a huge strength for the both of us is that we trust each other. You really need somebody you trust. It's, money, exchanging hands. You need somebody that you trust and that's going to be honest. I think those are great qualities that he has. Yeah. But I think it's fun working with the bro. Like I said, we already communicate a lot. Or we talk about the business a lot. I think the best thing always is that when he has an idea and I have an idea, it's not a fight. It's just a compromise. Or sometimes it's not even a compromise. It's like, oh, is that your idea for one hat? Well, I got this idea for a hat. All right, you do your thing on that. I'm going to do my thing on this. We're going to come together. We're going to put them both out, and it always works great.
Yeah. That's what's up. The Sade shirt, I'm glad you mentioned that because I wore that to a little gathering. Okay. I wore it to a gathering. And I'm horrible at getting fit pics, so that's why y'all would never know I had the shirt. Okay. But wore it to a little gathering, and this one sister who was in our congregation, she's originally from South Africa, and she was loving the shirt. Word. Loving the shirt. So I eventually interviewed her being from South Africa. It's like, okay. Yeah, okay. It's like, let's get somebody from South Africa, their perspective coming to America, all this other stuff. And I ended up, getting another one in her size and surprising her with it on the show. And it just went to show just how far of a reach you guys can have. And now she's back in South Africa. Mm-hmm. And she had mentioned, I don't know how long ago this was, but she was like, people want to know where I got my shirt from.
That's awesome.
So, Valari Toro got reach. It ain't just in America. We're going international with it. You're right. He ain't saying that. I'm just talking. I'm just doing it.
I appreciate it. Hey, I'll let you say it. Okay.
I'm just talking. But okay, so let's just look past the brand right now because, like I said, we don't fall off, we fall back.
Right. Okay.
You use the word hiatus, so both of y'all for saying, this is y'all are twins for real. I know y'all like to say twin down here, but I know y'all like to say
hey twin.
Yeah. I know y'all like to call each other twin down here in Atlanta, but it seemed like you and Ajante, y'all have perfect timing. Y'all got COVID at the same time, and you both kind of got married. Not kind of, you both got married. So is that one of the reasons? That's my assumption that you guys had to kind of pull back and focus on, a wedding is a big deal, things like that.
Yeah. That is the reason for a lot of it. And I feel like we first off it's always a thing this is fun, we like this, but we got to keep it in its proper place. All right, hold on, we're gonna sit down. Mm-hmm. We need to get life together. We need to figure out how we're gonna take care of a wife. So I think Ajante had to sit down for a second. He got himself together. He got his apartment. He got this. He had a wedding. And then things went well for him. Same thing for me. I sat down, got me down, this. And stuff just, you know what I'm saying? Stuff went well for the both of us life-wise. So, I mean, when you put a lot of focus into something always gets neglected. And I hated had to be the brand, but I think that was the best thing for us personally, the best things for us as men. And like I said, it's something that we can come back to. And there's so much money we had to allocate to other things. I don't have the money right now to flush into my brand. I don't have that. But let me get this out the way, and now we can.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know for myself, my wife plays a big part behind the scenes, with the podcast. I don't think, I always say any thumbnail that doesn't look like crap she made. She does some behind the scenes stuff. Okay. Even now she was fixing the camera angle for us. she has ideas. My wife has an eye. I have zero eye. She has a vision. I have zero vision. So she kind of helps me out with that to make the podcast a little bit better. Now, while Volare Toro has, you guys haven't been releasing because you're getting stuff together. How does, your lovely wife contribute to, your creativity, your vision, motivation, so on and so forth?
Oh man, like she does a lot. I think it's funny because I think I had got so I say obsessed with my brand. I would find it was a time that like that was literally all I talked about. I found myself in conversation talking about the brand and everything at all the time. So when we first started dating and got together, it was something I was just conscious of, like, oh, I'm not gonna talk about that. Let me not talk about my brand. I'll be fighting it. But she a lot of times like, hey, what you doing with the brand? What's next? Or like, y'all about to drop something? We didn't say nothing. So I think she's on me a lot. And I'm like, she gives me a lot of ideas too. She sees something nice. She's like, oh, you should do that. Y'all should do that. So I think she's very supportive of anything I do, and especially the brand.
So I had mentioned before when we were pulling this together, I'm like, does your wife want to come on the podcast, want to say a couple things? And and he said, we'll see. But at the same time, because this is Fly Rock and Johnny in the building for real. And I don't live down here, y'all. So I'm gonna be flying back. So this is like a one-time thing. You gotta get as much content as you can. Exactly. But the thing is, he's so good of a husband. He's so good of a husband that when I said, well, she wanna, say a couple things, he's like, dog, she got her own motion. Like she ain't like she does a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So are you ready? All right, we got the lovely wife in the building. Can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Shantoria Johnson.
I love it. Yeah, Johnson. Yeah. All right, Shantoria, thank you for also, being on here too, and congratulations getting married. So, as your husband let me know before, you got your own motion. So, what do you do?
I don't know about motion, but I do have a business. I'm into hair, so I recently got licensed. I'm a licensed cosmetologist, but I already have my business, Flowers Child Hair, as well as lashes. So I sell raw Indian hair extensions and lashes.
So I had to.
What? No, I did not know you had that.
Child. It started right there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's accessory.
Okay. That's what's up. Now, how long have you been doing this?
Actually, same. I officially started my LLC and everything in 2020. The pandemic, being at home, it was something I always wanted to do, and I had the time. At that point, I had the time and a little bit extra money to get started. Yeah,
hair extensions and lashes. So, now I don't know you from a hole in a wall either. Now, if I'm a young lady, or I know a sister or something like that, what can I expect from Flower? Hold on, we going. Now, if I'm a young lady or a sister, what can I expect from Flowers Child Extensions? Like, what's the quality of your work? What do you have that I would recommend anybody going to?
Well, first thing is the hair. I do sell lashes, but my first love is hair. And what I have is raw Indian hair. So hair extensions is pretty big right now. It's different categories or levels to it. But the hair that I sell is straight from India, and it's thick, full bundles all the way to the end. And primarily natural. My thing is natural looks and installs. So not any lace. They wouldn't find any lace from me. I used to offer it when I first started, but right now working on my relaunch and everything, it's something I decided I'm not gonna do. Doesn't really fit me personally or my target audience. So yeah, I think they could find extensions with great variety of lengths, textures. So yeah.
Okay. And transitioning, because you're not originally from this area, right? So where are you from?
I'm from Chicago.
Chicago in the building. So, what is it like starting a business, doing something, and then moving from one city to another?
It's, I want to say it's scary, but the thing is, where I moved to, everyone says it's the hair capital. Okay. So it's like there's that minute of, kind of starting fresh. Well, I guess for me, it's two sides. Like, I'm a stylist, and then I have this brand. The side of being a stylist is kind of like scary because you're starting fresh, you don't know anybody, and that's kind of how you get clientele. From the side of the brand, it's not as scary because it's all online, and that's the good thing about social media today. It doesn't matter where you actually live, you can still reach people. Mm-hmm. But it's exciting. It's exciting, especially now being in Atlanta, because it's a lot of hair, a lot of girls, and I think you guys mentioned earlier, Atlanta is like party scene, or like, and so people want their hair done. Yeah. So that's exciting.
Yeah. Now, what about your husband? Your your fly, your handsome husband. You had to think he was handsome. You married the man. So, and you had I know you think he's fly. So, how does his support affect you? What's it like having your little soulmate, behind you?
I think my favorite thing, and this goes beyond the brand, is that he supports any idea I have, and I'm very much all over the place with a lot of ideas. Mm-hmm. But he supports it. It's never like, oh, that's not gonna work, or you can't do it. It's just a matter of like, okay, we're gonna figure out how we can make it happen, or mm-hmm. or so. How are you thinking about making that happen? And I think that's my favorite thing, because sometimes I even know I'm a little bit extra, but he's always supporting, like, if that's what you want to do, you can do it. Let's see how to do it in a way that works best for you.
Mm-hmm. What's your favorite Valarie Toro piece?
It's interesting. This hat is my favorite hat, and I don't wear like caps or whatever, but mm-hmm. that hat makes me want to. Mm-hmm. The green, I love that green, and it was our wedding colors too. But I would have to say the sunflower shirt, because I wear that one. Mm-hmm. That's the main piece that I have that I can wear. Like, I don't wear hats. But if it wasn't that one, it would be the Sade shirt. Because I love that one. I love Sade. I love the color of it. But I guess I'm going to say the sunflower shirt, since I actually have that one. Mm.
I got one more question.
Get her one of those Sade ones.
Yeah, get the Sade.
I've been asking for it.
So, all right, I got a question for you, and this is coming from a male that your field is out of my range. Mm-hmm. So I got to be honest. I see like lash pages and things like that. What is the real art? Because like your eyelids and stuff, like it's such a small surface area. Yeah. Like, how do y'all really do this? Like, please explain to somebody who knows nothing about the whole lash game. Mm-hmm. What is the lash game, and what is the art to it? Because I know it ain't easy.
Well, I appreciate you saying what is the art, because that's exactly what it is. Like hair, makeup, lashes. I mean, a part of it is grooming, but at a certain point, it's art. You don't have to wear lashes, but if I had to put it in simple terms, it's just to insinuate is that the way how you say the word? To make it pop, your eye shape. Now, like anything, sometimes people take it too far. Mm-hmm. And then it's a matter of self-expression, because a more reserved or conservative girl, she may wear a more natural lash, but someone who's a little bit more out there, bubbly, or maybe even not bubbly, but just extra, she might wear a little bit longer out there. You can mm-hmm. see it from a distance lash. Mm-hmm. So that's really all it is.
All right. And shout out your Instagram one more time.
Oh, it's Flowers Child Hair and Flowers Child Lashes. So I have two separate ones, just to kind of keep it organized.
I got you. Thank you for also being on the show. So just stick around for a little bit longer. Okay. We're almost done. Okay. So I just want to thank you guys for being on the show and making time for this. And what a cute couple, right? Drop a like if you think they're cute. But any last words, any shout outs, anything you want to say, anything that I might have missed that you wanted to just say on camera?
I think we got it all covered.
Okay. Cool Hand Podcast, something you got to deal with. I want to thank you guys for being on the show. Tune in for the next episode. Cool Hand Podcast, something you got to deal with. Easy.
All right.